Hello, welcome to another episode of Pwnery's Penny Arcade. I thought I'd do something a little different here and play the original Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest to give you a little bit of context in how different Ed Finley's Castlevania 2 Rebitten Reimagined is. Just so you can see the vast improvements and um, just where this game came from originally. And what I intend to do is play through the first 30 minutes in a similar fashion as the original Rebitten recording earlier. So sit back and relax, and we'll get this started and see how it goes. First thing you're going to notice is he's not moving anymore. So in the original game, there was no breathing animation. The walking animation was a little less animated, so that was already a vast improvement. Second thing is, we're back to the item menu, and the hearts actually count as currency again. So this is the guy that sells you the white crystal, but I really don't want that right away, because I'm trying to follow the same playthrough path I did with the earlier recording. But the white crystal is necessary for Berkeley Mansion, obviously, because I couldn't see the moving steps. So we're just going to go ahead and follow the same path. Now this is the version with the timed endings, but because I'm only playing the first 30 minutes, it doesn't matter. Also, you'll notice that these textures are actually something you can step on, whereas in Rebitten you just walk right through them. I guess he didn't think that they were important. Like they didn't hurt the game at all. The other thing is I can time that jump better in the original because you can predict their movement. Whereas in Rebitten, their movements are a little less linear. They don't jump straight up and down. Sometimes they dive in towards you. So fluidity of predictability in this one is definitely simpler. And this is the original day-night cycle. You could be in the middle of the jump and that's going to spring on you. And you just have to be very mindful of what's about to happen. Now, the other thing that's in this night cycle that I actually do kind of like in the original is all the creatures' health is twice as high as daytime. So earlier, I can take these guys out just by hitting them once. Now I have to hit them twice. Obviously, the further into the game you go, the more difficult the enemies are, the harder you gotta hit them, the more times you have to hit them. But for me, right now, I'm just trying to get through the first night. And I'm trying to come up with 150 hearts to buy the chain whip. See, this night cycle is just a darker paletted day cycle. You can see everything, and I always thought that was a bit lame. But I mean, this was the limitations of the technology at the time too, I'm sure. So the one thing you probably noticed is already is the grind is obviously slower. If you hear dogs barking, I apologize. I should be able to get through here. Oh boy. we go, 150. Oops. So in this game, obviously the difference is you have more than one life. And the save feature doesn't exist either. Instead, what would happen is you would have a code. So you would have to write it down, upper and lowercase sensitive, and once you got the code down, you wanted to make sure that you wrote it properly, and then the next time you wanted to play, you had to go to continue and type in your code, and then it would load up whatever you had left over. I just realized the errors of my ways. So the one thing that I do need to buy, that I completely forgot about, is holy water. Otherwise I can't buy the chain whip. So you notice the church is smaller, and all he does is heal you. I made a rookie mistake with the holy water. See, now they're one hit. I wonder if I can make it all the way there and back before nighttime. Oops. See, the other thing is you can't control your jump. I'm trying to go back and I can't, so once you jump, you're committed to it. Every time I played this game, I always skipped the Thorn Whip. I always thought it was a waste of money. Okay, let's go find some holy water. Yes. Yes, I do. So in this version, you actually have to select the item you buy, which means you always have it. Whereas in Rebitten, the one you got's the one you're carrying, and you can't switch back. But on the flip side, he set it up similar to Castlevania 1, where the items just drop when you knock out the torches, which you notice there's no torches here either. So as long as you know which item drops where, you can always go back and get it. It's not too big of a deal. Level up. In his game, it's that red orb, which is what you would pick up after defeating a boss in the first one. Now, one of the really cool additions to his game is there are bosses in every mansion. So it's not just grab an oak stake and... looks like I have to sit through another night. It's not just grab an oak stake, poke the bag, grab the item, and take off. In this version, there was only, what, 2 bosses? 3 bosses. You had to deal with the Grim Reaper, you had to deal with the Devil's Mask, or whatever that thing was called, and then you had to fight Dracula at the end. In this one, every mansion has a boss. See, in this version, if I remember right, let me make sure. Yeah, so holy water's free. In Rebitten, your hearts are your consumables, and money is money. This one, the hearts are money, and the consumables don't cost you anything. You can just use as many as you want. I can throw 1,000 of these if I wanted to. Which is fine if you play a game like a completionist, where you want to explore everything, you know, hit every brick to see if it's open or whatever. You know, that's a thing. But you notice this church door's open, and yet they won't let you in. He covers that. He closes the doors. He shutters the doors. All the people in town are gone. The only thing left out here are you and the dead. Write it out. This was also one of the easiest ways to level up. You would just write it out at night, and then you can sort of position yourself between two spawns like this, and just flip back and forth. Like, I don't want the bird. But you can flip back and forth between these guys, which is obviously much easier once you get the chain loop. You only have to hit them once. And then you can just go back and forth like this, and they'll just keep spawning them. It's almost morning. Oh! There we go. See, at least in this one, everyone has something to say. But in the other game, if they want to talk to you, they'll let you know. Just go ahead and heal up real quick. So the pace of this game is actually, it feels slower, but it moves faster. Because I'm only, what, 13 minutes in? And that was with a backtracking. And I should be able to hit up Berkeley. Yes, I will. Now, whips automatically change, see? So I don't have to equip that. You can never go back to the other one. I always skip the throwing whip. There's just no point in having it. You know, now that I think about it, when I went back to get the holy water, I probably should have got the damn crystal too. Well, thankfully for us, you can enter mansions at night, so it doesn't matter. Sorry for putting you all through this. So I guess the other thing is in this version, I've only got two buttons, A and B. Whereas in Rebitten, I can use every button on my Sabertooth that I have. Alright, come here, you. Yes, I will. Actually, one of the things that I can show you when we go into the mansion is something that is missing in Rebitten. And I'm sort of sad because it's gone, but it takes away a sort of cheaty element to the original. I'll show you. One thing you probably noticed is all the sound effects are pretty much the same, because he wanted to keep it true to the original. Adding 16-bit sounds to an 8-bit game would just sort of ruin it. So in Rebitten, there's a torch here that gives you the holy water. Not here, not so. Alright, so Berkeley Mansion. Now, I have the crystal, but I believe you have to equip it. See? I completely forgot that when I played through Rebitten. But I did leave it in the description. I did remember in the description. I remembered that. Alright, so if I remember right, the thing about Berkeley that's different is, the first thing that's different is that there's no boss. Second thing you might notice is good old too many sprites moving on the screen kind of lag. Used to love that. It would mess with your timing too on jumps. Yeah. Dead end. Oops. But don't worry, I have 2 extra lives. Apparently there's an invisible brick there that I forgot about. Really? No, that was a glitch. Well, hell. A glitch in my game. I've played this game for years, and I've never had that happen. First time for everything, I guess. Now, if I remember correctly, there's invisible blocks, cursed blocks I think they called them, And the way you know if they're out there is you just throw a holy water. If it falls through, then you know it's no good. You'll fall through it too. Also, if the monster walks to it, if it's a block that they can't walk through, they'll turn around. So it kind of tips you off that there's something going on. Like those, for instance. See the bottle? Alright, that's the guy I was looking for. Second. Ah, see? This isn't Berkeley Mansion. This is Brahms Mansion. So in the original, you buy an oak stake, boom. Good to go, right? And then you would go to the end of the mansion, like so. And if you've played this as much as I have, you know that there's hidden floors somewhere over here. Just trying to remember where. That's on the other floor. I think it's by the pillars, yeah. So did you notice how that guy turned around? Because he knew that if he walked forward, he'd fall through. Another little way to use the monsters. So here in the original, this is the end of the mansion. You would select your oak stake, you would pop it, you would get a bag, it would tell you that you acquired a piece of Dracula. I got the rib. So the rib acts like a shield, as you can see here. In this game, the shield comes out every time you stop. See? Or duck. In Rebitten, the shield comes out when you press the right trigger. So you can actually hold it while you're walking, while you're jumping, while you're doing whatever. But here's the other trick. What I would do is, in mansions that I knew the oak stake was easy to get to, like this one, I would backtrack back to the guy before I left the mansion. Buy another one, like this. This way you've accomplished one of two things. If you go to the next mansion and you accidentally go to the item first, then you already have a stake, you're good to go. If you know your way around the mansion and you don't want to go through the oak stake, you can skip it. But I knew that was going to happen because I'm trying to backtrack out. But see, now I've essentially got another oak stake for the next mansion. In Rebitten, when you buy the oak stake from the guy, he's like a spirit. So as soon as you buy it, he's gone. That's it. You only get the one for the one mansion. But if I'm not mistaken, if you buy an oak stake, I think you get it for the rest of the game in his. I think. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on it. But I think that's why he did that. Because you could just keep it because it uses the Y button. So anyway, I'm only 24 minutes in and I've already done more in this original than I could in Rebitten. And that was with 2 backtrackings because noob. And I just forgot where I was going. Or what to get in what order. So as you can see, this game was definitely, it feels slower, but the pace, the progression pace is obviously faster. And in this version, the breakaway boxes are only done with holy water, obviously. Whereas in Rebitten, you've got the distinguishing marks on the stones to break through certain stones only. I think it's this one down here. Yeah. And now I'm going to collect an item that has no use. You can literally go through the whole game and never need this. But because I remember it's here, Sacred Flame. See, this game had so many just dead ends. There's a lot of items you don't need. Generally, when I play this quickly, to try to get it under, I think it's 4 days to get the best ending, I skipped the Sacred Flame, I skipped the Diamond, I skipped the Silver Dagger. Like, I don't waste my time with the Silver Dagger. It took me a couple of years to remember where to get it in the first place, because I just kept playing through it and never getting it. You know, the only thing you need in this game is the Gold Dagger. I don't think this was the town I was looking for. No, this is a one-floor town. Yeah, I went the wrong way. Basically, what I was about to do is I was going to go ahead and go to the next town where you trade your white crystal for a blue one. Because I suspect the towns are the same. Where those are, obviously. Another level, not bad. Maybe I don't have to backtrack too far. I think I do actually have to backtrack further than this. Yeah. If I remember right, this is just another one of those dead ends. Oh, no, this is where you actually use the blue crystal. But if you don't have one, this happens. So anyway, this was the original Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. I hope you enjoyed the video. Basically, this is just the roots of where retro gamers' inspiration came from. So now, if you go back to that video and you want to try the remastered, reimagined game, feel free to download it in the link in that video description below and, you know, be an 8-year-old all over again. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the old like button and subscribe and share if you'd like. And if there's anything else on my channel you like, feel free to take a look. I keep everything in separate playlists in case something's not your flavor. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.